Well, a Statesboro nonprofit is helping veterans manage chronic pain, and now that same mission is rallying around one of their own in a fight against breast cancer. WJCL 22 News' Pedro Lopez reports.
These are the moments that define who Lacey Lee is: a mother, an Army veteran, and someone her family calls a fighter.
She's really a superhero.
But behind these moments, Lacey is facing a battle she never expected.
Currently, I am dealing with a stage 1 breast cancer diagnosis. Been fighting the fight since then.
It's been hard. It's tough a little bit, but she's in good spirit.
That strength is something her family says never fades.
She keeps a great spirit.
After serving her country, Lee says this is a different kind of fight, one she lives with every day as she works to get back to the life she loves.
The pain mostly is what affects my day-to-day.
And while she spent years helping others through her work at Statesboro Chiropractic Clinic, now the people she works alongside are stepping up to help her.
Treating veterans is important to me because my husband's a veteran, and I feel like this is me just giving back to our veterans in our community.
Dr. Florian Cruz owns Southern Chiropractic and Wellness Center, where she works with veterans every day, a mission rooted in giving back to those who served.
I found out that one of my massage therapists is, battling cancer, and it's just really rough because my team is like my family.
Now, the Statesboro community and the veterans she's worked alongside are showing up, reminding her she's not alone.
I cannot put it into words. The love that I felt, it's unfathomable for me.
Rallying together to help ease the burden and inspire her to share her message with others.
Don't stay silent. You're not alone, and even if you don't have anybody but me, they can tell me.
A reminder, she says, can make all the difference. In Statesboro, Pedro Lopez, WJCL 22 News.
Next at 11, TSA delays at airports drag on nationwide amid the partial government shutdown. While you should still be prepared for long lines, even as TSA agents start getting paid again. And NASA is sending humans on a mission to the moon for the first time in decades. Hear from the astronauts ready to take off to space.
Plus, another warm-up arrives this week. I'll show you when highs reach the 80s coming up in your certified most accurate forecast.
Right now, you're looking at video of the TSA pre-check line at the Atlanta airport today as delays continue amid the partial government shutdown. Passengers say they're arriving hours early as wait times keep changing by the hour.
There's nothing that we can do, and the people that are working here are working hard. Okay, Congress needs to get their act together, and if they would just do it instead of playing games on both sides.
Agents set to be paid again Monday after an executive order signed by President Trump. But that may not be enough to shore in long security lines at airports. Jen Sullivan explains why.
Frustrated passengers waiting in long security lines at airports across the country as busy spring travel is underway.
All the way down. All the way to the other side.
At Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport, some passengers say they arrived well before their domestic flight Sunday morning.
My flight's at 9:47.
And what time did you get here?
I just got here at 6 o'clock.
The long lines at airports are due to staffing shortages. TSA agents have gone without pay for 6 weeks as Congress holds up funding for the Department of Homeland Security. Many TSA agents are calling out because they're struggling to afford things like gas and child care.
It is like a hostage situation because we're not being paid.
President Donald Trump signed an executive order Friday that would allow TSA agents to start being paid Monday despite the partial government shutdown. But it could take a while for agents to actually receive that money.
Just like last time, it took some people a couple months to finally get their time card corrected and get finally paid.
A DHS spokesperson says more than 500 TSA agents have quit since the partial shutdown began February 14th, and thousands have called out. The nationwide shortfall in airport security staff could mean continued long lines for passengers.
It depends how many TSA agents come back to work, how many TSA agents have actually quit and have no plan coming back to work.
In a controversial move, the White House sent Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents to various airports this past week, but it's unclear whether that made things better. I'm Jen Sullivan reporting.
Well, after more than 50 years, NASA is sending humans on a path back to the moon. It's a multi-billion-dollar mission called Artemis 2, and it's a critical test run before actually landing on the moon. The 10-day, roughly 600,000-mile trip is set to launch Wednesday. The crew, comprised of 3 Americans and 1 Canadian, say they understand the importance of the mission and are ready to go.
Just to remind everyone, this is a test flight. This is the first time we're going to try this. This is the first time we're loading humans on board. And I will tell you, the 4 of us, we are ready to go. The team is ready to go, and the vehicle is ready to go.
Artemis 2 is a test flight that will loop around the moon but will not actually land on it. It's a critical step towards Artemis 3, which aims to touch down near the moon's south pole, where NASA hopes to build a base one day. Well, you're looking at video of a large brush fire in Ware County near the Coffee County line. Coffee County officials reporting ashes falling in the area. And according to the Georgia Forestry Commission, the fire burning over 1,000 acres and is 70% contained as of this evening. And now for a full check of your forecast. Checking back in with meteorologist Austin Green. Austin, it's safe to say that the dry and windy conditions led to a fire like we just saw.
That's exactly right, Tia. You remember yesterday we had that red flag warning. Conditions didn't quite meet that criteria today, but we of course still have the severe, extreme, and even for some spots exceptional drought going on. You pair that with the breeze we had this afternoon, and then also it's a little bit more moist in the air, but still again dry overall. So those all help to contribute to that brush fire in Ware County. Now, talking about what we'll be looking into as we go into this next week, you actually notice one of the weather headlines. Rain chances in the forecast, but overall still spotty. So drought conditions not really going to get any better. As far as temperatures go, mild start to the work week, but as we go through the rest of the week, we're going to see a warm up back into the 80s. Before we get to that, live view outside of Hardeeville. Not too much going on, only a few cars driving by Highway 278. Temperature is currently sitting in the upper 50s there. Mostly clear skies at the moment, and we are seeing these temperatures begin to fall off across the board, already down to the low 50s up in Sylvania, 59 in Hampton, and then 58 at the moment over in Savannah. Satellite radar, though, has been completely dry today. There has been some low cloud cover to our west and then just offshore. We're kind of splitting the gap between that, so pretty quiet weather really as we go through the rest of the overnight hours. The big story will be temperatures as we head into the start of the work week, and that's all because of our current weather setup. High pressure continues to shift offshore, and that's starting to bring our winds a little bit more more out of the east-southeast, and that trend will continue as we go into the day tomorrow. That'll start that more of a transition day on Monday, and then the warmer temperatures really arrive as we get into Tuesday. But as far as tonight goes, we're going to keep those cooler temperatures around even as we kick off Monday morning. Check it out in your 12-hour forecast. 53 degrees, the forecasted low for Savannah, so you might need that light jacket if you're waking up early and heading to work. But as we get to lunchtime and then the afternoon, highs are going to warm up pretty nicely. We're going to actually make it to the mid and upper 70s in Savannah, and that trend is going to spread out across the region. Check it out as you go north of I-16, more so mid 70s there. As you get further south towards the Altamaha River, that's where we could see some spots touching the upper 70s, maybe even getting close to 80 degrees. Now the real warm up begins Tuesday, and that's all because of the weather setup that's going to take shape. Here's that area of high pressure that you heard me mention. That continues to push east. Look what that does to our winds. They start to come even more out of the south-southeast, and that's going to lead to that big warm up across the entirety of the southeastern U.S. Check this out. By Tuesday, already seeing those highs back into the 80s, and that trend continues as we go through the rest of the work week. Now, one thing that really isn't going to change is spotty rain chances. There's just no significant weather maker in the forecast, at least over about the next 7 days. So we've got a few 10 and 20% over the course of the work week, but really no home run chances. And the bad news is that's going to continue to make the drought situation worse. You heard me mention it here just a moment ago, but anywhere from a severe drought for some of our northwestern counties, but most spots still in extreme, and then even a couple of areas here in exceptional drought. So definitely still in some desperate need of rain. Let's talk about your 10-day forecast. Again, Monday going to be that transition day. Overall, pretty mild weather. Again, no real rain chances in the forecast. As we get to Tuesday, Wednesday, and really the rest of the work week, few spotty rain chances, but the bigger story, check out those highs, going to be well above average in the mid-80s. That trend continues into the weekend, and as it stands right now, your forecast for Easter Sunday is dry and sunny. Something we'll have to watch, though. A couple computer models picking up on a late weekend, early following week cold front, and you notice that with the 20% chance of rain on Monday. So again, we'll watch the timing of that closely, but it could lead to a brief cool down the following week. For the islands and beaches, more the same. 70s for most of the work week, so pretty pleasant in that sense. Only a couple of spotty rain chances mixed in there as well as we head into the weekend. Rain chances on Saturday, but at the moment, it looks like Sunday will show some sunshine and temperatures in the mid-70s. If you want access to all 10 days of the area's certified most accurate forecast, all you got to do is download the free WJCL 22 app.
The Atlanta Braves are trying to get their first sweep of the season, plus a new champion emerges at the club car. We'll let you hear from him after the break.
It's surreal. I'm having a hard time coming up with a better description than that. I felt like I fought so hard this weekend. The conditions were really, really brutal, so there was no real time to worry about the moment or where I stood or anything like that. It was just get the ball going where you wanted to. So to be standing here, it's surreal, and I couldn't be happier.
Welcome to sports. I'm Corey Howard, and ladies and gentlemen, that's Davis Lim, your 2026 Club Car champion. His first win on the Korn Ferry Tour, but throughout the tournament, he had to fight an uphill battle. But it was Lim who delivered when it mattered the most, draining a birdie on 18 to win by 2 strokes at 19 under. He entered the final round, tied for third at 15 under. The first time in his Korn Ferry Tour that he had been inside of the top 3 through 54 holes. In fact, in his previous 33 starts, Lim had never been higher than tied for 10th, making Sunday's breakthrough performance even more impressive. So taking a look at the leaderboards, Lim ready to make that $180,000 deposit after taking home first place. John Pock had an 8-stroke lead on Thursday after he broke a course record, and that didn't last. He finishes 17 under, and he takes home second place. Blaze Brown comes in third, followed by Ian Gilligan, and then Carson Young and Joseph Bramlett, they round out the top 6, and Lamb has played in the Club Car Championship 3 times, but he says his previous experiences might have helped him out a little bit on Sunday.
I've played the Club Car 3 times. I played second stage here once, and I played the Oglethorpe back in, 17 or 18. So I've probably played this course 24, 25 times, which helps a lot. Like I said, it can get tricky in spots. And I just feel like over the many years of playing this golf course, I've learned inherently kind of how to play it correctly.
And if you've been watching our coverage of the Club Car Championship, then you probably heard some names that are familiar. Several local stars hit the links, and WJCL 22 sports director Amy Zimmer caught up with a few of them after the final round.
Thanks, Corey. This Korn Ferry Tour event, no stranger to hosting local talent. And once again, Southeast Georgia and the South Carolina Low Country was well represented. Starting off with former Georgia Southern star Ben Carr, the last player to get into this year's field. And oh, did he make the most of it. Carr carding a 69 on Sunday to finish at 12 under par. Good for a top 10 finish in a spot in next week's Suncoast Classic in Florida. Meanwhile, former Armstrong State standout Shad Tootin finishing strong with 4 birdies on his final 9 holes. He also shot a 69 to secure a top 30 finish at 8 under. Plus, Bluffton native and former Clemson standout Bryson Nimmer finishing even par on Sunday to land inside the top 25 at 9 under. An impressive showing from all 3 who shared after their final rounds just how special this tournament is.
This is always one of my favorite tournaments of the year. I get to see my family and friends out here and get some support and some cheers whenever I make a birdie, so it was just a really fun week. Unfortunately, didn't get it done, but, played pretty well and glad I got to see everybody.
I had a really rough start and, kind of down in the dumps a little bit. And, I look up, see my mom, and it just gives me a smile. So it's just one of those things that we don't get to do it very often and play in front of our family and friends, but when you do, it's just extra special, and it's just so much fun to be around.
It means a lot being so close to Georgia Southern and in my home state. Yeah, like you said, last man in, so just really happy to be playing. Didn't think I would be Monday afternoon, so that's definitely a win in itself.
And Tootin, Nimmer, and Carr all finishing within the top 30 of the Club Car Championship this year for another impressive showing from our local talent. For now, reporting from the 18th green at the Deer Creek course, I'm Amy Zimmer. Back to you.
Thanks a lot, Amy. And the bats got hot last night for the Atlanta Braves, particularly in the 9th inning, scoring 6 runs, including a walk-off grand slam from Dominic Smith. Undefeated at 2-0, the Braves came into today's game looking for their first sweep of the season. The Braves taking on the Royals in the 3rd and final game of the series, but early on, things weren't going the Braves' way. Trailing 1-0 in the top of the 3rd, Carter Jensen absolutely crushes one, and the Braves fall into a 2-0 hole. And moving along to the top of the 8th, Well, and this would be Carter at bat once again, and this time, yeah, a deep sac fly, not a home run, but deep enough to score Bobby Witt. Now the Braves in a 4-0 hole. Can they muster up a comeback like Saturday? Drake Baldwin says why not? The home run scores 1, but the only problem is that would be the only run that the Braves scored, and they would fall for the first time this season. The final score 4-1. And sticking to professional sports, but moving along on the ice, and this would be the Savannah Ghost Pirates, and they couldn't pick up the win, and this time they fall to the Solar Bears. The final score in this game 4-2, and they are holding on to that final playoff spot, but barely ahead of the Jacksonville Icemen. That's a look at sports. Stick with us.
You're watching WJCL 22 News, the one to watch.
Thanks for staying up with us for 11:30. I'm Tia Maggio. First, check out your forecast. Here's a live look outside at downtown Savannah. As you can see, it's pretty quiet out there. You can see a few cars going down Bay Street at this time, but most people, of course, are at home getting ready for the work week ahead. Meteorologist Austin Green joins us now in Austin. Talk to me more about, I think you mentioned 80s for next week. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, that's right, Tia. If you didn't enjoy the cooler weather that we had this weekend, definitely going to see some warmer weather as we go into the work week, but we still have some of that cooler air lingering across the southeast, 58 in Savannah at the moment, 57 down in Jessup, and then upper 50s even as you head further west over towards Macon and Augusta. You just saw the live view outside of downtown Savannah. We'll look at it again because, again, all things quiet right now. Temperatures there currently sitting in the upper 50s. Mostly clear skies, and that trend really continues through the rest of the overnight hours. Check out temperatures, though. We do continue to fall through the 50s. As you're waking up tomorrow morning, you might need a light jacket. Low 50s to start the day, but by the time we get to lunchtime, temperatures already into the mid-70s. And as we go throughout the afternoon hours, we'll see a mix of sun and clouds, and that's going to help push our highs back into into the upper 70s. So we'll actually switch to warmer than average as we get Tuesday, Wednesday, and the rest of the work week. Highs are going to get back into the 80s, and I'll tell you all about it coming up in just a few minutes. But if you want an early jump on the area's certified most accurate forecast, all you got to do is download the free WJCL 22 app. Tia?
Warmer than average. I like the sound of that, Austin. Thank you. Well, a Hampton County teacher is facing charges accused of leaving a 6-year-old behind during a school field trip. We previously told you Hampton County police were investigating after a child was found walking down Highway 278. Officers say the child was left behind after a field trip to Palmetto Theater, but was safely returned to Varnville Elementary School and family. Now the teacher in charge of the trip is facing a charge of unlawful conduct towards a child. Police say she did turn herself in. Jessup police are investigating after a woman was found seriously hurt this past week. Police say she was found at the intersection of Highway 27 and Highway 169. Officers were called around 12:30 a.m. to report of a person in the road, first thought to have been struck by a vehicle. But investigators now believe she may have been assaulted. She was taken to a Savannah hospital and remains in critical condition. Anyone with information should contact Jessup Police. Well, this weekend, Savannah joined communities across the country for No King's Day protests. Demonstrators say they came together to speak out on a range of political issues and to show unity through peaceful action. WJCL 22 News' Kirsten Masalka shows us.
A crowd of what appeared to be thousands filled Emmett Park Saturday afternoon as the Savannah community joined a movement of around 3,000 No King's Day protests happening nationwide. The demonstration was organized by ACLU Georgia and Savannah Indivisible.
This is an incredible showing of people coming to exercise their First Amendment rights and gathering peacefully, non-violently to express their dissent over what's happening with our government.
While the protests centered on opposition to the Trump administration, many demonstrators pointed to specific issues that motivated them to take part.
Bombing of other countries, the takeover of other countries.
One of my big issues, one of the issues we're really interested in is the SAVE Act and how that risks disenfranchising a lot of votes.
We don't like the fact that we've got someone in office right now that thinks that oligarchs and those with all the money should run the country.
Still, unity was front and center.
It might not be a much, but for those coming out, I think it's very significant to show unity and show a little bit of discomfort for everything that's going on.
After hearing from speakers, the crowd took to the streets. Police escorted protesters as they marched through downtown Savannah from Bay Street to Price Street. Organizers say protests like this demonstrate the spirit of Savannah.
What I've seen today, there are thousands and thousands and thousands of people who have come to show up here in Emmett Park to peacefully demonstrate. We're so happy to be able to spread the love here in Savannah and see just how powerful the people of Savannah are.
Attendees say they'll keep showing up until they see change. Reporting in Savannah, Kirsten Masalka, WJCL 22 News.
Kirsten, thank you. Once again to Boomtown. Jasper County is leading the nation in population growth. That's according to new data from the U.S. Census Bureau. And according to the data, Jasper County saw a 6% population increase in just 1 year. We first told you about Carolina Station back in October. That's a $36 million project spanning 2,600 acres. It'll bring hundreds of new housing units and nearly 100 acres of commercial space as leaders work to keep up with demand.
It is very intentional. There's a lot of growth that's going on, but it's growth that's happening according to a very clear plan and vision that was set forth a while ago for the city.
Leaders say they're also examining how to best expand infrastructure, especially roadways, to handle increased traffic. Well, this week, Georgia lawmakers passed a bill that would expand the type of medical marijuana products sold at dispensaries. It removes some THC limits for Georgia's medical marijuana program. In the 11 years of the state's program, patients were restricted to low-potency oils. Now the bill would expand options, raising THC levels to 5% and allowing vapes and leaf products. Gary Long, CEO of Botanical Sciences, Georgia's first medical cannabis dispensary, says allowing the drug in vape form will help those with chronic illnesses receive faster pain relief.
If you've got tremors and spasticity from multiple sclerosis, you don't want to wait 45 minutes potentially for the medicine to take effect. And through vaporization, it essentially immediately goes into your bloodstream through your lungs, which gives people relief right away. It's designed for in-home use, so non-public use, because there was concern generally that they didn't want people out on the street just, vaping products.
Long says the bill could also boost Georgia's economy. He says buyers won't have to cross state lines or turn to what he calls unreliable sources for treatment. The bill now heads to Governor Brian Kemp's desk for approval. Well, still to come, beach renourishment is underway on Hilton Head Island. How it could change what you could see along the shore. And a popular beach party gets a rebrand. How Tybee Island leaders are preparing for the big event.
Plus, warmer weather and spotty rain chances return to the forecast this week. I'll have a full update of what you can expect coming up in your certified most accurate forecast.
A major phase of the beach renourishment project on Hilton Head Island is getting underway, and it could impact what you see along parts of the shoreline. Here's WJCL 22 News' Sabrina Lee with more.
Contractors are expected to begin installing more than 11,000 feet of pipeline stretching offshore to Barrett Shoals. That's where about 750,000 cubic yards of sand will be pumped onto the beach to rebuild eroded areas.
So the contractor takes a dredge out to the sand source, and then he connects the dredge to the beach with a pipe that lays on the seabed. When he gets to the shore, then that sand is delivered to the shore in a slurry fashion through a pipe and spread on the beach.
Further up the coast, work is already continuing in the shipyard area where crews resumed sand placement after equipment repairs.
They've completed about 2/3 of the work, or a little bit more at this point. They finished renourishing at Fish Hall Beach on the north end of the island, Pine Island, a lot of sand placed at the heel adjacent to the Port Royal community. Now they're working on the Central Atlantic, and they've been working on that in the Coligny area.
Netzinger says the impact on the island goes beyond just the visual impact.
It's a huge economic boon for the island. I mean, it's a lifeblood for the island's economy.
While much of the sand dredging may be complete, some areas still have work to be done. Pine Island Beach remains closed as crews construct rock breakwaters designed to protect the shoreline long term. That work is expected to wrap up at the beginning of April. Sabrina Lee, WJCL 22 News.
Sabrina, thank you. A decades-old beach party is back on Tybee Island, but this time it's under new management and a new name. The event, formerly known as Orange Crush, is now being rebranded as Crush Reloaded. And while the city moves to get ahead of it, some people I spoke to aren't excited to see it return. A new name, but a familiar event returning to Tybee Island. Crush Reloaded is expected to draw thousands, with new organizer Stephen Smalls now in charge.
As of right now, we're around 4,000 ticket sales. I don't know the expected number, but we are up there. It's climbing. The website has a lot of traffic. We geared up. It looks better than last year.
Last year, more than 30,000 people flooded the island. This year's rebrand comes after the city denied a permit to the original organizer and approved one for his former partner instead. City leaders say working directly with the organizer is key to keeping things under control.
It helps when you're working with the person that wants to put on the event, because we can set boundaries for each other that work for both sides.
Now that we know what to expect and how it's going to go, I'm still working closely with the city, and I've rebuilt my team to make sure that it runs smoothly and operate a lot better than last year.
But not everyone is on board. Some local businesses that declined to be on camera say they still dread the event, with one bar telling us they shut down every year, calling the crowds disruptive and not worth the business. Others say they hire more security just to prepare. Still, some residents say last year was an improvement thanks to better planning and city oversight.
It was really much better, and I think it had a lot to do with the planning. It's because the city participated. Yes, it was big difference.
Ahead of the now only one-day festival on April 18th, the city is holding public information meetings for residents and businesses to ask questions and know what to expect before the crowds arrive.
We just want people to be aware of what's happening, who's coming, what the setup for the event's going to be.
Right now, for a full check of your forecast, live outside, this is our Broaden Street through our Leopold's ice cream camera. As you can see, well, there's actually a few cars on the street right now. I'm kind of surprised, and even I think I see one person walking along too. Surprised what they're doing out there at, what is it, 11:52 at night or 11:44 at night? That's interesting. Of course, meteorologist Austin Green joins us. And Austin, we do have Easter Sunday coming up this weekend. I know a lot of people are going to be curious about what the weather is for that day.
Yeah, it's still a little early to get the forecast locked in, Tia, but one of the things we're watching is a late weekend or early the following week cold front. Right now, it looks like it might hold off till early the following week, but depending on the timing of that, could impact Easter. Not in a big way right now. Again, the forecast looks good, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. The stories that we're going to watch, though, as we kick off this week, kind of a transition day on Monday. Mild overall, but then as we get towards the middle portion of the work week, temperature is going to rocket right back into the 80s. Before we get into the details, live look out at the Calabogie Sound. Pretty comfortable right there, temperature-wise, falling down into the upper 50s. Clear skies at the moment, and you notice those winds now have calmed down out of the northeast at only about 6 miles an hour. Temperatures across the board, 52 degrees up in Sylvania. That's the coolest spot at the moment. Low 60s in Baxley, upper 50s over in Alma. And then as you go right here in the hostess city, we are currently sitting at 58 degrees. Now, radar network has been completely dry today. We've got a little bit of cloud cover out to our west and then a little bit of cloud cover here floating around just offshore. But rain chance is not going to really be in the forecast until we get into Tuesday. And really, as we go through the rest of the overnight hours tonight, it's all going to be about temperatures. We've got high pressure continuing to move offshore. That's pushing in these onshore winds. So this is going to be significant once we get into the day tomorrow and Tuesday, because it'll help to start warm us up. But you notice that we're going to keep those cooler temperatures around for the rest of the overnight hours. Well, what that means, if you're going to be waking up early, you might need that light jacket. Check it out. Forecasted lows, low to mid 50s across the board. Savannah waking up to 53 degrees tomorrow, mid 50s over in Bluffton and over on Hilton Head. Now, as we go throughout the day, we'll see a pretty good mix of sun and clouds. And as you just heard me mention, winds are going to start to shift out of the southeast. That's that warmer wind direction. So that's going to help help to push our highs up into the mid and for a lot of spots here, even upper 70s, which is warmer than average for this time of year. But notice what's going to happen here. As we get into Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, highs continue to climb. We're going to be about 10 degrees above average by the time we get to Thursday and Friday, and that warm up really continues even as we get into the weekend. And to go along with those warmer temperatures, the pollen count forecast going to jump back to the high side beginning on Tuesday, continuing through Thursday, and that will likely actually continue even as we go into the weekend. Now, rain chances overall still going to remain pretty spotty. A couple things to notice here as we go really Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, only a couple 10 and 20%. Friday will throw in a 10% as well, but no significant weather maker until we again get late next weekend or early into the following week. So up until that point, the drought's going to continue. So far in March, we have had only less than a half an inch of rain. Right now tied for the fifth driest on record, and it will likely finish up that way. Since September 1st, which is the meteorological start of fall, we are about 13 inches under where we're supposed to be regarding rainfall up to this point. So it has definitely been dry. And as mentioned, over the next 10 days, not a lot regarding rain chances. Let's talk about it here in your 10-day forecast. Transition day tomorrow, temperature is going to be in the upper 70s. So it's a little bit above average, but it's really as we get into Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday that the warm up is on. High's going to rocket back up into the 80s. A couple days where we could see maybe a few stray showers or an isolated thunderstorm. No home run rain chances, though, until we get towards Easter Sunday. Right now, the forecast does look good on that Sunday. High is going to be in the mid 80s. Looks like that cold front could hold off till Monday, but we'll have to watch the timing on that closely as we go through the next several days. For the islands and beaches, your very own 10-day forecast. High is going to stay in the 70s throughout the work week. Couple spotty rain chances mixed in there as well. And looking ahead towards Easter Sunday, lots of sunshine and highs in the mid 70s. If you want to stay up to date on the area's certified most accurate forecast, you can see how the Easter forecast develops. All you got to do is download the WJCL 22 app. It's free on the App Store and Google Play.
Golf fans aren't the only ones who look forward to the Club Car Championship. Coming up, we'll take you and give you a behind-the-scenes look and show you how things you can look forward to if you're going to the Club Car next year. If you're a golf fan, of course you love the Club Car Championship. And if you're a foodie, well, you also love the Club Car Championship. Our anchor, Briley Miller, sits down with the man who makes everyone's stomachs full during the tournament.
I am here with Chef Sam. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, it's great to be here. I appreciate having the privilege to speak with you.
Well, you have a very important job this week, and that is fueling all of the athletes. So I want to ask you, what kind of preparation goes into this week?
You know, it's a good question. It's actually about a week before the event starts, we really start getting ready logistically and organizing. We have a really big team here at the Landings Golf and Athletic Club, so a lot of the different chefs, we have 150 chefs that work here around the property, so it's really a large group effort. We have shifts of folks who come in as early as 4 in the